So if I go to your website, there's a button and it says contact the CEO. What do they say? What do you hear? And what are clients asking for?
Everything from, I need help with a loan, my check bounced, what time are you open? And what's fun is that when I contact them back, they're shocked. They're like, who are you? And I said, I'm the CEO. I'm the person that you just emailed.
SEFCU, founded in 1934.
1934.
Yeah. And so if you think about that mission from 34 to today, and then your vision for the future, how's it changed and what do you see in store for members?
So we started in 34. There was 4 people sitting around a table, and it was all about service. It was all about people helping people. We grew and we became, more of a mainstream financial institution. We never lost the people helping people. And in fact, we took it to a whole new level. We changed the orientation, turned it on its head, and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to donate up to 20% of it every year to those in need. So really, from 34 to today, it's really the same mission.
Then 2006, you're no longer the rookie
Right.
that you were
Right.
in 88. You're the boss.
Right.
You're the CEO. What happened during that period of time? And then how have you seen it evolve? And what's the future?
When I came here in 1988, the credit union was in some pretty serious financial difficulties. I was a young gun, and I said, I'm going to be there 5 years. This is going to be a great stepping stone, do a little turnaround, take the next step in my career. I didn't understand the whole credit union thing. I didn't understand how the harder I worked, the more other people won. And I got bit by the bug.
How do you see the digital future for your members?
I'm using the term anticipatory banking. We have to be 2 steps in front of our members. We have to anticipate, what do they need? What do they want? Can I provide it before they ask for it? Obviously, as a financial institution on our own, we can't do that. We need partners. We need partners like yours, right? Where you can help us. You're 3 steps ahead of me. If I can stay 2 steps ahead of my member, that's a win-win.
Well, we're honored to serve you, and we consider it a privilege, so you should know that. And as you know, for you, I have a contact the CEO button also. So anytime,
Well, I appreciate
we're always available. So the economy, we sit here today, and it continues to have all types of different forces in it. What are you hearing from your business clients?
They're starting to feel it in their business. The cost of people, right? It's not just hiring more people and finding people, retaining people, but investing in them. They're starting to feel that. That's starting to hit the bottom line of profitability. So, I think 22 is going to be rough. 23 is probably going to be rougher.
What's the best part of the job? And if you didn't have this job, what would you do?
My board allows me to simply do the right thing, right? I just have a very simple rule. Can I do the right thing by all people? And so we have a phrase that we use, find out what's fair and do more than what's fair. And again, I get to steer the ship. I have a massive team of people that have built the ship and make sure that it runs right. If I wasn't the CEO, believe it or not, I would have loved to have been a basketball player, but I stopped growing about 50 years ago. So from a career, it would have to be a teacher, and I may still do that at some point.
We're tremendously lucky to be your partner, and thank you for the confidence and the privilege. If there was something you would tell us we could do better, what would it be?
Drag me to the future, kicking and screaming if you have to, but you have the intellect, the team, the resources to be so far in front of us. Together, we can take what you do, provide it to our membership, and then don't forget, at the end of that, the outcome goes to the community.
We talked a lot about community engagement, and you and the institution has done a ton for the community and its members. Have you thought about what you're most proud of that you've enabled? What would it be?
So easily, it is changing the culture here so that as my staff participates in these things, we were able to take people that were living under a bridge who had no hope whatsoever and to move them into transitional housing, really changing their life. What we've done with our freight farms, where we're literally growing our way out of hunger, right? Where we have multiple freight farms now where we're growing food hydroponically 365 days a year and then donating that food. So not only does the food go in, we're teaching people how to do it themselves, right? So we have given one of those freight farms to a city mission. We've given one of those to the Boys and Girls Club. So now we're teaching these kids, we're teaching those folks that use the city mission, they're generating money, and we're feeding them.
If you think about a smarter future for your members and your people, what does it look like?
It's time to change the paradigm about banking. How do we do away with the bulkiness of that interface and be different so that it is not an event for a person to interact with their bank or their credit union, but it's more almost like oxygen. That's going to take a change in products and delivery and mentality. It's going to be very disruptive, but I think it's time. You know, I really think it's organizations like yours who can pull us into the future. I think through those partnerships and a little freewheeled thinking, I think we can get there.